Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a theory that really challenges the very foundation of ancient history. We'll be using our source materials to explore the idea that the timeline we all learned in school might not be what it seems at all. So let's just jump right in with a pretty provocative question, one that comes directly from our source materials. What if the historical dates we just take for granted, the founding of Rome, the first Olympics, what if they aren't accidental discoveries, but the result of a deliberate mathematical design? The sources we're digging into today are proposing exactly that. It's a radical idea, really, that our historical timeline was intentionally engineered. The argument is that it's just too perfect, almost too mathematically precise to have happened by chance. So, how does a theory like this even get started? Where do you begin to build that case? Well, it all starts with the one man who is tasked with organizing history as we know it. Meet Joseph Justus Scaliger. Back in the 16th century, he was the guy hired to create one single unified timeline out of all the scattered, sometimes contradictory, histories of the ancient world. His work literally became the foundation for the history that you and I know today. Now take a look at these dates. These are the official start years for 7 major eras in ancient and pre-modern history. You've got the Olympics, the founding of Rome, the Jewish era, the Byzantine era. On the surface, they just look like a random jumble of years, right? But this is where it gets really weird. The theory our source material presents points to this incredible calculation. If you take the start years of 6 of those eras, add them all together, and then subtract an even 1,000, you get 5508. That's precisely the start year of the 7th era, the Byzantine era. What are the odds? And this is really the moment the theory pivots. Is an equation like that just a 1 in a million fluke, a crazy coincidence? Or could there be a hidden variable, a secret number that ties all of these dates together, and maybe even the entire structure of ancient history? So, if there is a secret code, what is it? Well, the sources we've looked at propose one specific number that they claim is the key to this whole chronological puzzle. And this is it, the number 529. According to the theory, this isn't just a random number. It is the foundational constant, the secret ingredient, if you will, that was allegedly used by the people who constructed our history. Okay, so let's see how this works. The theory claims you can take our number, 529, multiply it by 9, subtract 1,000, and boom! You land exactly on 3761 BC, the established start date of the Jewish era. It's presented not as a coincidence, but more like a formula, a recipe. And the pattern supposedly just keeps going when you start grouping major historical traditions. For example, add the start dates for the 2 pillars of Greco-Roman history, the Olympic era and the founding of Rome, and you get 1529. Do the same thing for the 2 main Babylonian eras, and you get 1058. Now, this is where the theory really tries to connect the dots. It claims those sums are not random. The Greco-Roman total, 1529, is exactly 1,000 plus, you guessed it, 529. And the Babylonian total, 1058, is simply 2 times 529. That same number just keeps appearing over and over. But the theory doesn't just stop with start dates. It takes this mathematical logic and expands it to the entire lifespans of the most powerful empires in Western history. So first, let's take a look at the accepted timeline for the Western Roman Empire. From its legendary founding in 753 BC to its traditional fall in 476 AD, we're told it existed for 1,229 years. And according to the theory, that duration isn't an arbitrary number at all. It breaks down into a nice, clean 700 years, plus that same number again, 529. Okay, now let's jump over to the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire. It's considered to have started with the founding of Constantinople in 324 AD and ended with its fall in 1453 AD. That's a total span of 1,129 years. And here we go again. The theory demonstrates that this duration can be calculated as another round number of centuries, in this case 600 years, plus that same constant, 529. So you have these two huge world-changing empires, and their lifespans are both supposedly anchored to the exact same number.
So at this point, all these mathematical patterns are laid out. But if this was all deliberately constructed, the final question is really the most important one. Why? Why would anyone go to all this trouble?
The German source we're referencing concludes that this whole system is just too neat, it's too interconnected to be the messy result of actual history. It suggests these dates were born not on battlefields or in ancient cities, but, quote, at a writing desk according to a clear plan. And our other source offers up a potential motive. It argues that the entire purpose of this grand mathematical framework was theological. The goal, it claims, was to construct a timeline that wasn't just organized, but was centered on one single pivotal moment, the birth of Jesus Christ, making it the undeniable anchor of all history. So in the end, the sources leave us right here with a choice. Are all these repeating numbers and clean little formulas just a series of incredible, mind-bending coincidences? Or are they evidence of a past that was meticulously calculated, a history that was invented for a very specific purpose? That's the question at the heart of this explainer.